win going forward.
So the viral clip that kind of went out, I think Sean King also retweeted that, is him the big phrase you're going to hear is him calling this woman a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
Yes. Well, he asked her, have you ever caucused before? He says, caucuses are weird. Have you ever caucused before? She nods, and then he says,
no, you haven't. You're a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, oh, this might be something that he sort of provoked himself into and got himself worked up into a rage. Second sentence, you are a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
Like, he had it loaded. That is a phrase no one's ever said before. He had that locked and loaded.
He said it twice.
He says it again to a different person.
The same phrase, uncharacteristic of him, because it sounds like he's freestyling.
Like, hey, you're running for president, you piece of shit. You're a dog.
Where did he get that from?
I don't know.
I think this is like something his wife taught him, and he's picking up bad lessons from around the house.
The thing, I think the reason it's so funny to me is because it reminded me of this thing that'll happen sometimes in stand-up where, like, a crazy person wanders into an open mic, and then they go on stage, and they're just like, man, you lying dog-face, crazy pony soldier, and they ramble for like 30 minutes, and it's like anti-comedy funny. It's like funny, but that's not supposed to be.
It's like Joe Biden funny.
And you and your friends laugh at it in the back of the room, and you're like, man, that person was just like opening up their head, and they were just tripping balls and just saying the craziest shit ever. And then you come back a week later, and they come back and they do it again, word for word.
Yes.
And you're like, you wrote that? What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
I think that's what's going on with him, is that he's actually putting work into these weird-ass, old-timey euphemisms and shit.
So we haven't gotten to the bottom of what the expression is. We found there's a movie called Pony Soldier. And it's a cowboy movie because cowboys are often on a pony, and their work does involve soldiering in the acts of war.
Yeah.
And so that's at least the tail end of it. But to call a child dog-faced Joe is just no way to run a campaign, and it's going to bite you come dog season. And dog season's coming soon.
It's going to bite you like a dog, and then Pete Buttigieg is going to kill the dog. But the dog has a face. It's got a dog face, but it's riding on a pony.
Riding on a pony.
Or is a pony. We can't quite figure it out.
Trump says to women, he says, like a dog. Like, that's not a good look.
It's not a good look, but the thing about Biden is that I feel like people are ready to count him out. I don't think he's out yet.
No?
I think he's flaming out in like a very short-term sense. I think once we finally kill the rat, I think he's coming right back up.
I want to talk about...
we're going to be facing off against him in the South.
What's that video we saw yesterday?
Which, the ad he did about
so
Mayor
Biden,
Pete?
while he's still in the race, is providing a very valuable service because Bernie is now kind of like bickering around the ends with the progressive vote between Warren and, let's face it, Steyer, who is only sucking up Bernie supporters as far as I can tell. But Biden has a shit ton of money and is spending it all on Buttigieg because Buttigieg, despite not winning in numbers, is the perceived winner of Iowa because of CIA trickery. And so he's really like sucking the energy out of him. We need more middle of the lane battling happening. Did you guys all saw it, right? So the commercial is like, Joe Biden presided over the biggest economic boom since the gold rush, or some good fact about Joe Biden. And then it'll be like, Mayor Pete cut the ribbon at the Staples in Indiana. And like the fucking like song you play as your child is falling asleep comes on. It's like, look at him, he's a little baby. It's also like a 4-minute ad.
Yeah.
It's an ad designed specifically for old people that we will not reach. It's the perfect weapon.
Right.
I'm so excited.
It's bad for both of them because it makes Biden look like an asshole and Pete look like a novice. This is like perfect when he's both.
And he's both.
He's very bad. I was thinking this week, I was thinking about kind of things that could happen, sort of gaming it out in my head. And I think if the media let Bernie have the victory that he had in Iowa, I think if they acknowledged it, I actually think that, Bernie could have, had a pretty easy time in New Hampshire, which I still think he would win, but
that's
he could have
exactly
had an easy time, and then he could have I think that Biden could be out. I think because they did that to him, a thing that could happen is, let's say the rat won New Hampshire. I don't think it's totally impossible that he would get some momentum that would carry him into some other states because a lot of people vote based on electability. And I think, but yeah, I agree with you also that because Bernie didn't get that clear narrative that he won Iowa. Even if he wins New Hampshire, I don't think that Biden has totally flamed out. No, I think New Hampshire and Iowa are mostly all white states, and it was always a possibility. Like, what the media was saying for months was that Pete Buttigieg was going to win Iowa and New Hampshire, and that was the whole plan, and then Biden would kind of come back after that. I still think that's a real possibility in South Carolina.
But yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but I think the ticking time bomb is Biden lying about his civil rights record. He's just been going around saying that he was hanging out at black churches during the civil rights movement. It's just falsifiable.
He's not lying the way we're lying, in a cool way. He's lying in a bad way.
Well,
it's alarming talking to voters, though, because they don't seem to know all this shit. But I will say that most of them at least seem to know that Biden sucks by now.
Sure.
Yeah, I see him flaming out because the worse and worse it gets, the more agitated he's going to get. They've already tried to... Yeah. They had to regroup this week, like a few days before the New Hampshire primary. They had to go back to Delaware to just rethink the whole fucking thing.
Right.
And then they decided to go ham with that ad. We'll see if it works.
That's when he came up with Lion Dog Face Pony Boy.
This is it. We found it. The perfect distillation of weird phrases. He probably paid somebody $1 million to think of that.
I'd say, who do you think is his writer for his diss tracks?
I think that is something he was supposed to call Trump, and he just yelled at one of his own voters.
Is there any chance Joe Biden has cannabis on a payroll? And just look, I come across a girl who's too mouthy. What do you got for me? Lion, dog, face, pony, soldier.